SmackDown in Australia wasn't all that bad. You know, people, it felt like a decent pre-show to Crown Jewel. It didn't feel important, but at least it was a lot of fun. Shinsuke vs. Sami was a banger, the return of an old theme song, the MF... Wait a minute, people. I was made for love. Well, what I was trying to say, people, for the first time ever, MFTs actually had some aura. For a split second, I felt like I was watching a completely different faction. Also, a fun last man standing match that could do wonders for Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. No hot takes in this video, people, because I assume you are all sleeping. Or at least we're sleeping during SmackDown. But I'm built different. Well, in my country it was actually at 3 p.m. So that's how it feels watching wrestling and not dying. Well, the show kicks off with Cody Rhodes. Obviously hot crowd, loud chants. Cody says he doesn't blame Seth's obsession with WWE, but warned that thinking you're the only one who can carry the company is just a quest for control and power. He name-dropped stars like Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, Rhea Ripley, Jey Uso, and CM Punk as other guys who are really valuable to the WWE. The crowd started chanting Seth Rollins is a wanka, and Wade Barrett clarified it on commentary. Wanka! Wanka, Michael! You know, Michael, he's a bit of a wanka! Cody made it clear, Seth Rollins cannot beat him. I don't have a lot of notes, people. I'm basically raw dogging this video. Not like there's that much to talk about when it comes to this segment specifically, because this was basically a nothing burger. Let's get Cody on the show. That's it. We move. We got to see the championships. They're the exact same. Expensive ass championships that mean shit. But the segment was pretty much worthless. I was expecting Randy Orton, honestly. Some story development. You know, not him just looking at the championship, but something along those lines that make us believe that maybe at Crown Jewel, we can expect Randy Orton to show up and actually turn on Cody Rhodes. But this was a very basic promo, very basic segment. One of the most boring segments I've seen in a while. It felt like just a reminder, yes, we're having Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins at the pay-per-view. The highlight was obviously Wanka, which is crazy, by the way, because I'm uploading another video today, which I recorded yesterday. And I started the video with this, you know, these weird ass things I do, and I impersonated Wade Barrett by saying Wanka. This is a once in a lifetime moment, people. I can't believe I predicted this shit. Backstage, Stephanie Vauquer was approached by Chelsea Green, and then we got Tiffany Stratton. Lots of cheers. Vauquer says, tomorrow may the best women win. Glad we're on the same page. Just like with the Cody segment, just a reminder that yes, this match is happening. This entire story specifically, at least Cody versus Seth Rollins has something. You know, it was a big rivalry. It's an ongoing rivalry, I guess, in a way. Even if the championship means shit, this has basically made the best women win. Well, at least hopefully the match is gonna make up for it. But you know, I thought this show is doomed, people. I thought this is going to be the most boring SmackDown episode in a while with a hot-ass crowd. And while it wasn't necessarily anything special, we did get a lot of fun matches and moments. They teased a match between Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu. He has his eyes set on the WWE Championship, which is pretty interesting and a rivalry I really want to see. But at the same time, at this point, it's very predictable. Like Jacob Fatu, as great as he is, one of my favorite people on the roster, he's not on that level yet. So if we get this rivalry, the result is a bit too obvious right now. I feel like he should be in a WWE Championship match in like 2 years. Unless obviously he's going to get a monster push. But then he got attacked by Drew McIntyre. And later on the show, Nick Aldis announced it's going to be Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu next week on SmackDown. And we got another brawl. Again, one of the biggest highlights of the show was actually the crowd. They cheered for everybody. Now, obviously, majority of you are Americans, so I don't want to insult you, but you really need to step up your game, people. Anytime WWE goes somewhere, it's like I'm watching a completely different product. We got another United States Championship Open Challenge, and it was the returning Shinsuke Nakamura. I didn't expect anything, even though I was, you know, thinking about that 2016 match on NXT. I wasn't expecting much. Let me explain. I'm watching the match, and it's like, oh my god, this is one of the best TV matches I've seen in a while. It made me wonder, was Shinsuke half-assing for the last few years, or they have that much chemistry? Because this was a great match and the best Shinsuke Nakamura match I've seen in years and years, people. Like, probably by far. Now, unfortunately, we did not get a result because they got attacked by MFTs, which at first I had no idea who these people are. They were, you know, with face paint, but I kinda liked it. They had aura. They felt like a threat, which basically tells us a couple of things. I think there is a possibility of Shinsuke Nakamura being a babyface right now, which is probably for the better. He's a veteran, probably at the end of his career too, like AJ Styles. Nobody wants to boo the guy. You know, he's not gonna be the next WWE champion anyway. Just turn the guy face and let people cheer for him. Now, am I excited about Sami Zayn versus Solo Sikoa? Not necessarily. Been there, done that. It sucked. But maybe it's not necessarily the rivalry we're getting. Maybe the MFTs are just causing chaos on SmackDown, which is something we're gonna talk about in a second. We got a tag team match. Stephanie Vaquer and Tiffany Stratton versus Julia and Kiana James. Another match for the crowd, you know, just to get people on the show. We saw the champions teaming up, and they did that successfully. They won the match, and they're going to face at Crown Jewel, and may the best women win. That is a crazy story, man. Cinema right here. But then we got the WWE Tag Team Championship match. Street Profits versus the Wyatt Six. And they brought back the old theme song, which is good. It needs to happen to a lot more people. That should be like a privilege in the WWE at this point, because the music is so bad. Anyone who says, I want my old theme song back, you give them their old theme song. People, Def Rebel is a virus in the WWE that needs to be taken care of. So we got the match, which was a lot of fun, and the Wyatt Six retained the championships. Enjoyed the match. But then we got MFTs, and I kinda like what WWE did right here. Again, for the first time, I felt the aura. I felt like MFTs are somewhat interesting. It felt like Solo is a leader and a real threat in the WWE. The Kiss cosplay are working for him. I don't know what it was about it. Maybe it's a bit goofy. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. And Wyatt Six versus MFTs. You know, it's good for MFTs because we're finally getting faction wars, and that's probably the best thing you could do for MFTs. But at the same time, for the Wyatt Six, finally they're going to be in something that feels a little bit more serious, because while I do appreciate the fact that they're the tag team champions, a lot of the stuff they did just didn't feel that important. I'm just so happy I can sit there and say, Solo Sikoa found aura. Which is a crazy sentence, because just a couple of days ago we talked about how we cannot take this guy seriously. The Miz cut a pretty generic promo about how, you know, he's the guy, he's building people, and Carmelo Hayes gonna get what he deserves. Which basically confirms Carmelo is a babyface. Like I've said, this is a good thing, especially since he's so good in the ring. Now people can actually feel like they should be cheering for shit he does. The main event was the last man standing match. Damian Priest versus Aleister Black. So people, the bell rings. I'm not even making that shit up. The bell rings. Ding, ding, ding. What do you think the people are chanting for? We want tables. Oh, you greedy bastards, you already want I hate this chant. I hate it with passion. The match literally, I'm not even making that shit up, literally just started, and you're already asking for the goddamn tables. Now in this match it makes sense. It's a last man standing match, you should be chanting that. Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal, wrestling fans. Wait at least 5 minutes. How do you expect the match to start with a table spot? How does that make any goddamn sense to you? I just find this chant really, really annoying. Now, I did enjoy the match. It was a lot of fun. Last man standing on SmackDown. Like I've said, it felt like a good pre-show to Crown Jewel matches. Some of these matches, you know, could have been on the premium live event. They weren't, but we got a lot of people. The crowd was hot, so it really felt like a pre-show for Crown Jewel, and I enjoyed the show for the most part, even though it still had the same problems as before. But I guess in this case, I can give WWE the pass. It's in Australia. It's a go-home show. At least the show was fun. I can give you that. What I liked about it is that we got the involvement of Zelina Vega, who actually helped Aleister Black win the match. I believe this is the first time ever WWE acknowledged the relationship on screen. I don't think that was ever before. Some people thought Andrade was, you know, doing the nasty with Zelina Vega, but that was never the case. Let me make that clear. That was never the case. I like that. Feel like that is a great idea, even though now that I've said it, are they basically replacing Karrion Kross? Because this seems very, very similar. It's a very similar gimmick to begin with, and now he's with his girl too. Conspiracy theories, people. Let the conspiracy theories begin. Are they replacing Karrion Kross? I'm a crazy ass individual. That's probably not the case. Right? Couldn't be. It's good for Zelina too, because her gimmick, and I'm gonna be harsh, was basically Sasha Banks 2.0. light. So now she has this darker look. She's gonna be with Aleister Black. I like the idea of that, even though it seems really familiar. So people, at least this SmackDown had some story development. MFT's got something different going on. Shinsuke Nakamura is back, and it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen with Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. So people, that was your episode of SmackDown. Again, to sum it up, same problems kinda, but some story development, and most importantly, at least it was fun. And now we know the crowd is gonna be good. The crowd is gonna be good. Excited for Crown Jewel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.